Hey, you.
Over here, Agent.
Slayer. Yo, what's up?
Hey, over here.
Cursed.
Hello and welcome to CtrlAltWow, the virtual reality podcast for people who like playing VR and making many alts and playing many games. I am AprilPvd and today is Monday, July 3rd, 2023. This is episode 800 entitled No V55 for you today. You come back tomorrow. So we're going to be talking about my experience in VR while I'm playing. And I kind of missed doing that before because that was always my shtick when I recorded before. So I am actually multitasking big time. Hey, big boy. And when I put out the podcast, I am going to try to cut out a lot of the extraneous. I think I did a good job with last week's. We'll see how it goes. I'm also going to try to avoid the pauses that I did last week. So the title of this week's episode comes from the fact that there is an update to the Quest. Now, you know, we're used to computer companies putting out updates. We have, right now, Microsoft is bugging me on my PC to upgrade to 11. And, of course, Apple does upgrades very frequently. But I have to tell you, I have never seen a computer upgrade so much as Meta and Quest. We have been getting up. We just got version 54. And version 54 was big because it gave us the ability to change the outside of our skybox and put our own virtual or wraparound pictures. I've been using panoramic pictures, but it's even better with VR pictures. And that was big. And it also gave us other things like the ability to touch your virtual keyboard and feel a somewhat tactile response. But version 55 is supposed to be what they're calling overclocking. In fact, some people call it, has been so much to say that it's going to be Quest 2.5. It's going to give us better graphics, a speed improvement. Meta has always been interesting in the way that it does do the rollouts of their updates. You know, unlike Microsoft and unlike Apple, they don't just say, "Oh, here it is." You know, click download and you'll get it. They roll it out bit by bit to no one knows. No one really knows what their criteria is and how they pick who gets it and who doesn't. So I know I'm on a Facebook group with someone, and some people have gotten it. Now, there is supposed to be an easy shortcut way to get it, which is to accept the public channel, and then it will update you, you know. I did do that on my backup one, and I did log into Zenith, and I didn't actually notice any difference at all. Not sure if it was because it was the public test channel and not the actual released version, or B, Zenith hasn't optimized for it. Of course, though, when I was doing it, I was also using virtual desktop. And I was excited because, and that's my other topic for this week, is that Virtual Desktop did an update. And if you're listening to the podcast, you probably can't see this. But if you get a chance, go look at the YouTube video. And it is crisp. It is beautiful. Maybe I will even go back and try to find something from pre-Virtual Desktop update. But try to compare it. But Virtual Desktop has done a fantastic job. They really improved a lot of their software a lot, because I remember when I had the problem before when my headset died, and I would switch to to my backup headset. There would be distortions, and it would just, until I completely shut down and reloaded, it wouldn't go away. Now when I can switch between headsets and the video is seamless. Now there's a lot of people, I actually posted on Facebook about how I was excited about the V55 and how it would work with Virtual Desktop new update. And there was a lot of confusion. People didn't understand what I meant. And a couple of people were like, well, I used AirLink and I'm happy with it. And I just never understood that if I had, and I'm just using this as a random thing, if I had a Sony TV and somebody was using a Asus TV and said, oh, the Asus TV has blah, blah, blah. And the Asus TV is coming out with something new, and I'm very excited about it. I wouldn't even think about going into their conversation saying, well, I use the Sony TV. I don't use the Asus TV. Well, the discussion had nothing to do with that. It wasn't applicable. But people were saying how they use AirLink. And good for you. I'm very happy that AirLink works for you. But I have been using Virtual Desktop for a long time. And it has always worked for me. And when AirLink didn't, AirLink had issues. I mean, they fixed a lot of the issues, but they still have issues. And even recently when I've tried to use it, because I was trying to use Zenith on the Rift side, because they were doing some, they updated it and stuff. And it wasn't working with Virtual Desktop on the Rift side. I usually play mostly on the Steam side. I play mostly on the Steam side because I really do like, I like the overlays. I can't get there's no overlays that work with so when I say Rift, Oculus didn't have standalone. It was all, you had to use, you had to use a cable, and when you use the PC, you would use what is called Rift. Now, once it became PCVR with Quest, and you were accessing Meta software, it was still the Rift. Every game that I bought on my Rift account is still there, but and this is where it gets complicated. They also had something called Rift Home. And it was a nice little house. It was a house that you decorated. It was a house that you could put things. I'm trying to think of how, did you get points or something? Because I know you could buy certain things and you had to earn them. And there is an event over here that is really good for Sky Stones, but I'm in the middle of this other quest, so I'm not going to do it. Then Steam opened up. And with the Quest, you could now access your Steam library. Now, Steam had games that were associated with Vive. So there were all these games that were Vive specific that you could now play with your Quest on PCVR. Got it. And it like opened up a whole field because there was things on Steam that weren't on Quest and weren't on Rift. There were people who had bought, well, there were just an amazing, like for instance, I'm trying to think of something that I had that, Derail Valley. That was a train simulator. There was a lot of other things that were on Steam and that were only for the Vive community. And so when they opened up Steam for Quest users, it was phenomenal. And you had the ability to wirelessly access this library of stuff and use both the Rift and the Steam library. It was awesome. And you got a little house, a little home too on your Steam library. Mine is actually Star Trek Enterprise, original Enterprise bridge with all the squeaking, the noises. Okay, I'm heading back. I just did 3 missions. One thing that's nice about Zenith versus World of Warcraft is you can teleport. You can do things even though you're in combat. When I went back into Rift or to check on my games, because of course there are some games I had on Rift that you didn't have on Quest and I didn't have on Steam. And I actually ended up buying some games over that I had on Rift, but they took away the home that you had. So you can no longer have a home. When you go into Rift now, it's just an empty, barren area. It's kind of creepy. Alright. So, I'm hoping to get the V55 update this week. I've been checking every time I put on my gear what I'm waiting for. That's my big thing now. Alright, let's go on to what I've been doing this week. And I can tell you, I've had a great week. And I got I'm still doing the agent rank on my Cyber Ninja. Of course, that's all I've been playing this week. And I feel kind of guilty because I really should bring out my Blade Master, if not for any other reason than to level up her pets. I've been doing my agent rank and I got a Godstone, and the Godstone I got was the Ranger one, so I have an epic Godstone. And the way it works is as you level up the Godstone, as you play, you get points that you can use towards modifiers. I leveled it, I got it when it was level 1. I waited for it because I wanted the Staggerizer. There's certain things that you can get. And so as you play, and you get the XP. Oh, so I've maxed that one out. I've maxed this one out. And you can apply these points towards different modifiers. So all of my Godstones are maxed out, are the ones I'm using. But I do have a chance of getting another epic one, don't I? In agent rank. And you can farm them and get different ones. Oh yeah, I got one coming up on 36. Ooh, and when I get to 38, I get some legendary enhancement dust. My next bonus for the agent rank, my next reward, is going to be an epic bow. But I'm not going to get that. I'm not going to pick it up when I earn it because and I don't even know when it's going to come up, but we're going to get rolls for the ninja like we have for the Blade Master and the Essence Mage, and I want to use that like for midway, so when they're like in their 20s, they can have a bad blade, a really good blade. I've been leveling. I leveled up that Ranger weapon, and it's a really cool weapon. It because I put the staggerizer on it, it will give a chance to instantly stagger the enemy, and it, unlike the stacking arrow, which I really like too. I don't have an epic one for that one. I just have the rare on that one. And I do have the epic, and I've maxed that one out too, so I can switch between the two if I want it. Let me see. So my glacial piercing one, I know this sounds like gobbledygook, and I'll try to put screenshots in the show notes. So my primary arrow can either be a ranger arrow or a stacking arrow. I'm using a ranger arrow right now, although I might go back. I was just leveling that. I think I'll go back to the stacking arrow because I kind of like that. My second one is a glacial piercing or wildfire. So I haven't leveled up either one of those. Okay, well, this is educational. Wait, I must have. Yeah, there it is. It has a rare, and it's at max, the wildfire one. Now, my glacial piercing one, I should work on leveling that up. It does have a rare, but I haven't leveled it up. Okay, so that's the next one I'm going to work on now. It has 1 point. I think I'm going to put some points into Primal. Okay, so what else have I been doing? I got my Godstone. So last week, again, I am quite smitten, I would say, with my Cyber Ninja. And I also like to hang out with United Zenithian Alliance, because they do. Oh, there's a carrot. I haven't seen carrots in Galleon Valley since they put the cultivator in Skyland. I'm gonna go see if there's carrots over here. So I wanted to go hang out with them, and they were doing a run that involved a chess run. I think I've talked about hanging out with them before. One week we did a cosmetic run where we went around and did all these cosmetic events like Neoware and Sunshine. Well, this time, there are carrots out here. Interesting. This time they did chess run that started in Emerald Desert, and I still don't have the faster travel point for that area. So Friday, I took myself away from Skyland, which is very hard because I've gotten obsessed with it. Plus, there is a quest in Skyland called Gaining Unbound Power, and it's going to be very key in leveling up and getting better gear. So I was like trying to get, it needs Skystone. I think I talked about this last week, how I leveled up my crafting so that I could get the second tier, the third tier for crafting, which gave me a discount on mats so that I could make the Verdant Skystone. But the only bad thing about it is the Verdant Skystone takes Sky Stone, and you also need Sky Stone. So it's a lot like Sky Seed and Dewy Sky Seeds for the mountain pylon. So I dragged myself away from that pursuit of Sky Stone. And I'm kind of glad I did, because I had a really good time doing that. But first, on Friday, I went to Turtle Top, because that's the farthest I had as far as flight travel paths heading in that direction. And I went from Turtle Top to Tangled Cove, and I raced around and did all the quests that I needed to do from Kai and Tangled Cove until I got the faster travel path. See, I keep wanting to call it flight travel path, but it's not a flight travel path. It's faster travel path, because there's no flying. You just teleport. And as you can see in the show notes, I unlocked Tangled Cove from Kai, and then, but that wasn't enough. And then I had to get the breadcrumb quest from Kai to go see Mika in Ramshackle, and then I went all the way to Ramshackle and did a bunch of quests until I got the quest to go see the Elder. Scrapper Elder, and then he gave me some quests. I had to free some people, some prisoners, and kill some Nagas, and then I got the quest to Ramshackle, which was good for a couple of reasons. Ramshackle is really not that far from Emerald Desert, and there is a NeoWare event right in front of the Ramshackle fast travel point. So that was a win-win situation for me. Yes, I am chasing fairy flies again. At this point, I'm really just doing it for Blake to turn it in and get balls, but I really don't need that anymore, because one of the things I discovered is that I have 512 constructor nuggets and 431 sky dew, and Blake in Skyland will take 10 constructor nuggets and give me 50 balls, orbs, and there's a merchant in Skyland that will take 10 sky dew and give me back 50 balls. So I don't really need to do Blake's quest. I just do it out of habit. In fact, I think what I'm going to do is log out and go to a low populated server so I can go back to Skyland. Mainly because, I guess I could mute myself while I'm streaming, but I really enjoy playing while I'm recording the podcast. It gives me that feel. I love being in the game a lot. I love talking about the game to you. So I also did finish a quest for Finch in Obsidian Fortress, running the Forsaken Reliquary. Boy, I gotta do a whole lot more of these. I should do one now. Oh, I'm on a low pop. I just transferred to a low pop server. I'll do it tomorrow, because I'm not gonna be able to do it well, let's see. Let's see if anybody's around. You never know. Sometimes it even puts you in there solo. I finished, you have to go in the dungeon again. First you go in by yourself, and then you go in again as a dungeon, and you go back in again. So I did that. I finished that quest for Finch. Now, of course, bear in mind that all the quests I'm doing now aren't really going to give me that much XP, and I don't even need Zen right now, so it's kind of moot. I really should save a lot of these, like I said, for my other role. But it's also fun as a completionist. So the next day, this was Friday, I believe, I went on the run with UZA, and Zane was leading it, and Zane was incredible. I am really impressed by this group. I'm impressed by their enthusiasm for Zenith, their knowledge. I was embarrassed because almost all of them had been to the Celestial Temple, which I have not, and I probably need to try to figure out. I need to focus and get on it. I should start with my Blade Master because she has the most stamina, and focus on getting my Cyber Ninja's stamina up so she can do it. But we had a blast. We started out at Emerald City in the desert, and it's amazing because there are so many chests. So I just want to make sure I give a shout out to Zane because he did such a good job. He is so patient and so understanding when doing the runs. Some people were falling, and it's easy to we were climbing up high places and doing things, and so it's easy to fall, and he would help people get back up. Some of the people, and I notice, and this is something I really have to learn how to do, were using the special thing that you use to fly and control, so you could swoop up instead of just flying straight. But they were going to places that my Cyber Ninja did not have, and I didn't want to hold them up. One of the things they were doing was they were going to the Celestial Throne, which I guess you can just go anywhere else from there very quickly. So they were able to do that, and I had to go back to Ramshackle and just hike my way over. But I still managed to meet up with them, and that was super duper fun. What else did I do? Oh, I know. I had been completely avoiding the events in the ravine. And in retrospect, it was very short-sighted of me because I didn't realize, just like I was doing all the events in the lake and up in the mountain area or the forest area. I should have been doing the ones in the ravine. Oh, I lost the pan down. Oh well. It is what it is. I said, okay, let me see, what do you get when you do these events in the ravine? Well, you get sky stones. And you need sky stones for the pylon. And I'm sure you're going to need it for other things, but one of the main story quests is gaining unbound power, and you have to contribute 600 glinting ore, which I've already done because I had. Oh, hi! I'm sorry, I did not see these guys fighting me. I was trying to catch this burrow weevil and these tech guys. I also turned down the sound so I wouldn't interrupt the podcast so much. And the quest is called the Gaining Unbound Power, which is, it's another version of the mountain pylon. And I gave the 600 glinting ore, which I had a lot of that because I had been farming all the trees and the ore that I could get, all the shiny trees and shiny ore. So that was pretty easy. Oh, chest. I do have chests. Okay, just checking to see if I had the quest to open chests. The other things you need is you need to contribute 150 verdant sky stones. And those are made from regular sky stone and dewy sky seed, which I happen to have a lot of. They were made from the regular sky seeds plus sky dew. And then you needed sky stones. So I just need 8 more sky stones. I need to go to the ravine myself now because I need to you do 3 of those events. I mean, you do 1 of those events and you get 3 sky stones. So I need 50 more verdant sky stones, but I need 294 of the regular sky stones, which is one of the reasons why I'm going to do the event with UZA this weekend to do the run. They're going to do the events in the second part of Skyland, which is really nice. So I'm looking forward to that. And then Monday I didn't do too much. I did. I went to record this podcast. Oh, and Sunday, the other thing I did on Sunday was I did do my capture 100 critters. I went crazy on that. That was fun because I'm trying to level up my agent rank. I really don't have that far to go on my agent rank because I have been doing a lot. I've already maxed out my Skyland. What was the reward for the Skyland and maxing that out? Oh, it was mostly, there was a epic Godstone and Radiant Crest, which is going to come in handy when I start to raid. But for the agent rank, one of the things I have coming up for my reward is a really good Godstone and a arrow, a bow, which I am not going to take. I'm going to save it. I think I might have mentioned that already. So, yeah, I've had a good week. I'm really enjoying my Cyber Ninja. I'm feeling kind of guilty because I need to get out my Blade Master, my Essence Mage. I'm loving the new clarity and beauty with the new update for Virtual Desktop. And I am so glad that I'm finally gotten over my fear of heights that was paralyzing me. It wasn't just driving me crazy, it was paralyzing me. You know, I mean, I'm just using logic. You know, it's in a virtual reality. It's not going to hurt me. And it seemed to work. In fact, I'm, enjoying it now. Shoot. What the heck? I'm up in the air. I seem to get down to this chest in the water. Come on, get down. Alright, that's silly. So the other thing I've been doing has been HoloFit. And I put a screenshot in the show notes, and you should be able to see it right now on the screen. Oh no, you should still be able to see it on the screen. But I'm going to put a link in the show notes. I'm trying to cover both corners and everything about going live and doing this whole thing. Hopefully next week I'll be much better at this and it won't be so discombobulated. So I've been really pushing it on the cardio, and HoloFit rewarded me by coming out with a new map. It's called Venice, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's one of the things I like about it is it's on the water, and I don't know why, but when I'm exercising and I see water, there's just something very relaxing and enjoyable. There's also some interesting scenes in the on the map as you're going through Venice. I'd be interested to know if it's anything like the real city. I went there with VZFit on Google Maps, But of course you can't go on the water with Google Maps. So what I've been doing is I've been doing what they call HIIT, which is high intensity interval training, and it's really feels good. You have a chart in front of you that tells you when to speed up, when to push, and then when to slow down. And I've done the Venice one, I've done the Cyberpunk, and it's nice because I can rotate between the various maps, and it doesn't give me like I'm doing a grind. It makes me, but I really like recording this way because, you know, it's the CtrlAltWow tradition. We play while we stream. The only other thing that I've been doing this week is I did subscribe to the Quest Plus gaming pass. It was only $1. It also came with Pixel Rip. It's I don't know if you've heard about it. In case you haven't, I'll put some information in the show notes. But it's like, you know, any Game Pass on like Xbox or whatever, and you pay for a monthly subscription, and as long as you're subscribed, you have access to the specific games. And each month they will pick 2 games. The games they picked this month were Pixel Rip and Pixel Rip 1995, so not the newest Pixel Rip, but the original Pixel Rip, and Pistol Whip. Wow, Pixel Rip and Pixel Whip. So here's the thing: I already owned Pixel Rip, which is a computer game where you go inside of a computer game. It's very meta. It was very interesting. The games you're playing are from, you know, when we were kids, so it's really interesting to play the game. But Pistol Whip, I had never played. So here's the catch. For the first month, and I don't know if it's just this month or for the first time you try it, it's $1. So I said, what the heck? I can afford $1 even for just one game. And I signed up, and then I immediately unsubscribed. So for $1, I got to try and play Pixel Whip for a month. It's interesting. I don't know if I'm gonna. So what would happen is if I wanted to keep playing it, I would have to pay $8 for the next month. But the next month has 2 games that I'm not interested in. So what I'm going to do is, what I did do is I unsubscribed. At the end of the month, I won't have access to Pistol Whip, but it's okay. I got my $1 worth. And then the month after, I can see what it's going to be, and if it's games I want to try or play for a little while, and I will resubscribe.
What you got 2 bows for? Huh? Tell me.
Wait, let me...
Tell me what you have 2 bows for, bro.
I will tell you. Let me unmute myself. So, I can do this. I can instantly have access. I don't have to grab one and break it.
Yeah, but like...
I just have instant access to 2 karmas. And then
this is also instant access, look.
You don't have it. You're just holding your bow. But here, I have instant access. See? And then if I want to take you up, now you're dead. It's an extra slot. You don't need it for anything else, so might as well.
But then how do I grab my multi-tool?
Over your shoulder. Stop grabbing between your legs. Over your shoulder.
But it shows that it's here.
Stop!
It shows that it's right here.
So, do you have it in your quick slot? Where your pet balls?
What is that?
So you can catch
pets.
That's a jelly puff.
What is that?
Attack! Sorry, it doesn't matter.
Oh.
You don't have any pets? Every interaction in Zenith is very interesting. And even though that was just a brief, we were fighting over a node incident, we ended up becoming friends, and I took him to Blake so he could get the initial creature collector quest and complete the one from the guide and get the 75 balls. He was very appreciative. We came back to Skyland and because there were plenty of waddlers and fairy flies, and I showed him how to catch, and I showed him where to look in his menu to find out how many he needed, and he was very appreciative, and that was fun. And then I sent him on his way. All right, so I think I'm gonna sign off here to now, and I will be putting out the podcast tomorrow. I'm really having fun, and I'm loving my new virtual life. Thank you for joining me in this reality. I hope to see you in my reality. You can reach CtrlAltWow at CtrlAltWow@gmail.com. Our show notes are at CtrlAltWow.com. We are on Twitter at CtrlAltWow. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.